new. Welcome everybody to PSGL for this F1 2020 social race. I'm IGKX, and thank you very much for joining us. We're here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria in this friendly exhibition series with 20 extremely talented drivers getting set for action in short qualifying. Again, my name is IGKX. I'm going to be commentating this race for you today, and I am honored to have the opportunity to commentate my first PlayStationGL race with everybody here. And running on board with Big C019, who is on the grid today for this exhibition race. And let's ride on board with him right now as he's going to take us around this outlap of the Red Bull Ring. Of course, we had the Styrian Grand Prix earlier today, and we can already see a Racing Point and a McLaren ahead of him, getting a little racy right off the bat. It's an exhibition race. It's all funny games, but with extremely talented drivers like this on the grid, you can imagine we're going to see some very close and intense racing nonetheless, as drivers are getting set. And in fact, that is looks to be a Haas actually maybe ahead of him, and everybody just getting ready to start their laps. And Ash Best is already on a lap right now as he's coming into turn number 3, which, of course, as we saw in the race, causing many problems, especially for the Ferraris, as he heads down into Sector 2. DRS flap opens. Let's get the tires on there so you can see exactly what tires are on. Everybody except Big C and Toxic Tomato on the medium compound tire. Everybody else on the softs. I'll get you the telemetry on there. As well, as you can see, hovering just around 70% ERS. And now coming into the third sector, coming into the final few corners, extremely quick in this game with the extra amount of downforce and coming across the line. Let's see what he can do as times are coming across, and it's a third best time of a 103.2, and we can definitely go faster as Jay Chit currently has a 102.9. Sparks third fastest, and then Eclipse goes a 102.914. Excuse me. Going first on the grid at the moment, and all the times are starting to come on. CRG Gamer with a 103.2 as well, and just about all 103s, and then we get a 102.8 from N. Rafa, so a very quick time from him in the McLaren on his first lap. Big C has a less favorable lap of a 107.2, so he's definitely gonna go out again. And Mazzolino with a 102.8 going second fastest. Short qualifying. It's 18 minutes of nonstop action to set the fastest lap time possible to make it onto pole position on the grid. It will set the entire grid, so there are no stages in short qualifying. And then we'll go on to a 50% race, and there is an end plate gone from some car that is left on track. And there is that AlphaTauri being driven by Mazzolina. A few other drivers still on laps. Toxic Tomato is on a lap. Midnight as well. And Skeven also on a lap. Let's get you the track map so we can see everything that's going on. Though he's on an invalidated. Tomato is still good, though he's having problems of his ERS. I'm not sure if he's on a lap right now. Midnight is on an invalidated lap himself as well. And BDG Fabi is coming out of the pit lane now to begin his outlap, his first lap here, and he is on the softs. And then Tomato himself has an invalidated lap, so he's not going to be setting it this time either, and I'm sure we'll go into the pits. So a few invalidations, most drivers, though, getting in a lap, and oof, that was a little unstable coming into the pit lane, reminiscent of Verstappen earlier today. And that was not what you want to be doing coming into pit lane. The last thing you want to be doing, hitting the wall, having to replace your wing. As drivers are going into the pits, a few others coming back out for more laps. So just a few drivers who haven't yet set times. And there's VRT Chappelle. He is on the soft compound tire, 0 laps on those. Here comes Fabi, about to start a lap. DRS flap activated. coming in the turn one, using as much curb as possible. And that is pretty much the perfect line coming up through turn 2. There's a car ahead of him. He might gain a little bit of momentum off him. That's a Haas. There's a big lockup, though, on the front right. And more slipstream, though. I do imagine he might want to get out of the way of that Haas. In fact, the Haas lets him by. And coming in, oh, another big lockup. Again, locking up that front right tire. Those two turns, turn 3 and turn 4, very easy to unload the tire and lock it up, and he has done so on both occasions, though it's still looking like a decent lap nonetheless. And now coming up to 2 more cars. This can get a little dicey here, and in fact, Eclipse just moves out of the way just in time, and you can see Big C, and ooh, that was, and just at the last moment, an invalidation through the penultimate turn, and he's going to come across the line with no time, in fact, and the car got unstable out of the penultimate turn there, and he ran too wide. The track limits on Austria in this game, more brutal than ever. Many drivers complaining about the track limit, saying they need to be a little bit less strict, especially since what we've seen in real life with certain times not getting called invalidated. So at the moment, it's only Skeven, Tomato, Midnight, and Fabi who have not yet set times. Tomato still on the medium compound tire trying to set a lap. Skeven on the soft. He's on an out lap at the moment. Midnight is on a lap right now. DRS activated on the soft compound tire. So most drivers have decided now, except for Big C, who was on 3-lap-old mediums. He set a 104.4. Much better than the 107 he originally set. That's an invalidated lap from Rafa. And riding on board of Marcelina right now in that Honda-powered AlphaTauri, and he is going to let somebody by, and that is Tomato. Tomato still on a lap. Oh, big slide out of the turn there, and that is, in fact, going to be an invalidation. A huge slide out of the penultimate turn, and it's another invalidation, and I'm sure he's going to want to go again. He has to get a time on the board at least. He does not want to be starting at the back of the grid. And Midnight finally sets a time, but it is an undesirable 109.3 on the soft compound tire, well off the pace, so he's going to want to go again with just about under 10 minutes left to go in the session. And there is Fabi still in the pit lane. We see somebody jumping up. And Ashbest is on currently the fastest lap. Eclipse in second. Rafa in third. Marcelina in fourth. Gamer is fifth fastest. Sparks sixth. Skeven, seventh fastest. So only 2 drivers without times. That's Tomato and Fabi down there at the bottom. We have just about 8 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the session. Lots of drivers in the pit lane at the moment. Midnight not on a lap. QPR currently on an out lap on the soft tire. Big C is on soft, so that is an incorrect graphic. In fact, he's on a lap right now. Let's see what he can do on that soft compound tire. Coming across the line. And he's only going to go 15th with a 103.3. So not in the top 10, not where he wants to be. And I don't know if that's Tomato coming out of the pit lane now, trying again to set another lap. It is, and it says he's on the mediums, though that does look like the soft compound tire. So they fixed this issue in 2019 with the wrong graphic and the wrong tire on track, and they've broken it again in 2020, which is great to see. And Fabi does have the correct tire graphic and the tire on track, but he does not yet have a time. and currently sitting down in 20th. Tomato invalidating twice so far on runs, so he is going to want to get it all situated. So your top 5 right now is Ashbeast, Eclipse, Rafa, Masalina, and Gamer. The 2 CRG boys in 5th and 6th respectively. One in the Red Bull and the other in the Alfa Romeo. Skeven in 7th, J-Chit in 8th. Forbes in 9th, and CC Brain in 10th. That's your top 10 right now. With just about 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the session. Not the final runs, but we're getting close to it. Sparks on a lap right now. Let's see what he can do. He's got a car ahead of him. Might gain a little bit of slipstream. Nice and tidy on track. Ooh, just on the limit there on that final turn. Going to come across the line, and that's going to be a second fastest time, a 102.788. And that's going to be on the first row of the grid for him, unless somebody else can say something about it. It's CRG Gamer, his fellow CRG comrade, coming across the line to start another lap. And let's see if he can put his car up into the top 5. But he's not going to be happy about getting dropped down a little bit further. Forbes sitting in 8th. Gonna ride on board with Tomato here. Sitting in 19th, Fabi in 20th, and another invalidated lap for Fabi. And he has just had absolutely no luck here in Austria. Just not able to get the car connected on the road, and it has cost him no lap time so far. Toxic Tomato trying his best to get a lap on as well. No luck so far in this session. And we can see it's a 1-2 McLaren front row as Rafa goes first on the grid again, a 102.6, and that is a blistering lap time from him. And it's Gamer into the pits, so he invalidated his lap time and only sits 7th on the grid, a little further away from his CRG man that he'd like to be. Tomato again invalidated and back into the pits. So 2 drivers, Fabi and Tomato, have not set times in this qualifying session, and it is not looking good with just about 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Midnight has retired in the pit lane, so he is quite happy where he is on the grid. He believes not too many drivers are going to improve. Outside of the top 10, we got QPR, Chappelle, Cherry Pie, Big C, Dark Bolt, Duadius, Dwai, I'm going to say, Ali, Tomato, and Fabi. Apologize if I butcher some of the names in this grid. Trying our best, ladies and gentlemen. And there's Eclipse coming into turn number 3. Not on a lap right now. As you can see, saving up some of that ERS to go for another run. Marcelina on an invalidated lap. Not too sure if he was actually going for a lap. He's running that in hot lap mode at the moment. There's a driver just coming around. I believe that might... Nope, that is not Gamer. That is the other Alfa Romeo. That's Dark Bolt. So he is on an outlap himself. Eclipse invalidated his lap. Marcelina might be... No, I don't think Marcelina is going to go for it again because he is wasting a lot of his battery right now, so he might go into the pits. There's just under 3 minutes left to go in the session, and there was a Renault, and I believe that is, yes, Big C, and he is going for another lap right now on that soft compound tire. Going to come through the penultimate turn. No, actually, he's going to go into the pits. And, well... let's just say there's no slowed down penalty on right now, because that was a sudden break and a half. As you know, the anti-lock brake system is very powerful on this game. So working to perfection for Big C right there. Here's Cherry Pie in the Haas. And currently sitting in 15th. 103.1. The times, absolutely. I mean, look at the top 10 are all within a second of each other. That is astounding. Most drivers in the pits, they should be coming out relatively soon if they want to get out again. Rafa is on an out lap. So is, well, Gamer's on a lap right now. And in fact, he's got some cars ahead of him who might give him some slipstream. There's Fabi he's just about to pass. And this is only going to help him. Let's get the lap data on. There's a big lockup from Sparks, though, coming into Sector 2. Just getting 201 miles per hour before coming behind Rafa now. Rafa on an out lap. I'm sure he'll get out of the way swiftly, and he does so. This is going to be a big one from Sparks if he can get it all connected. Sector 2 plus on his previous lap time. So it's a little bit slower, but ooh, look at that. And he just missed the Mercedes there, and that could have been a catastrophe on track. Going to come around the final turn behind the Red Bull here. He might get some slipstream at the end. Here's the time, and it's going to be faster, but not pole position. And that might be it for Sparks there, and as it is on his current run, sitting second on the grid, though, at the moment. Let's see if anybody else can have anything to say. Rafa hasn't validated his final lap, so he's not going to be able to challenge and get a faster time on the board. We got Rafa and Ashbeast who are trying to come around for another lap. Just about 20 seconds left to go in the session. Ashbeast will go, so will Maslina. And let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. It's crunch time here in the Red Bull Ring. Letting by some driver Sparks right there. Here is Maslina, who has been challenging for pole position all day. And he is coming, getting a little slipstream off the Mercedes there. Faster in the first sector for him, but it's not a fastest first sector. Now he's behind Forbes here. I don't know if Forbes is on a lap. This could get a little dicey, and he's just going to let him by. There's also the Haas behind him, who's got a huge lockup into turn number 4. Sector 2, let's see what the time's going to be for Maslina. Has to be a good one. And it is faster. Again, though, not... Oh, that's a mistake! And into the wall, and that's out of the session. Maslina with a huge crash, and he is not going to set a better time. He ran it up on the curb, and the curb said nope, and he is into the wall. And what a mistake. Jay Cheetah has gone fastest at the last moment of a 102.6. And that is pole position for him in this social race. Wow. Big scenes in the final few minutes, and what was looking to be a good challenge from Maslina ended all in agony. And there's your short qualifying there, and it's 0.059 between pole and second position. It's Jay Cheetah, Rafa, Sparks, Maslina, Ashbest, Eclipse, Gamer, Toxic Tomato, Forbes, Skeven, Fabi, CC Brain, QPR, Beast, Cherry Pie, Dwyer, Dark Bolt, Big C, Midnight, Chappelle, and Ali rounds off the grid. 10 seconds until sessions start for this social race around the Red Bull Ring, Austrian Grand Prix, coming up in just a few moments. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This is PSGL. This is live coverage of the F1 2020 social race. We're here at the Red Bull Ring, and short qualifying is over. We now will get to the 50% race around the Red Bull Ring. We're just waiting for all the drivers to load up, and let's get set for action here. Qualifying over, it's time to see who will come out on top today. Just waiting for the formation lap, and then we'll get the 5 red lights. It's go time, ladies and gentlemen. And we got the spinning rings of doom that I've seen too far often end some lobbies, though I think we'll be okay today. No connection issues that seem too much. And there we go. Session starts in 25 seconds and counting. Thank you for joining us. My name is IGKX. I'm your commentator for this race today. We'll go over the starting lineup one more time on the Formation Lab. I think the new graphic should pop up as well. I believe there is a predicted strategy graphic that does come up on the Formation Lab. And there's that single red light that comes on, and there we go. Let's get going, ladies and gentlemen. Formation lap underway. JT is on pole position. Rafa in second. Sparks in third. Maslina in fourth. Fifth for Ashbest. Eclipse in sixth. Seventh for Gamer. Toxic Tomato in eighth. Ninth for Forbes. Skeven rounds off the top 10. BDG Fabi goes 11th fastest after having a tough qualifying session. CC Brain in 12th. QPR Beast in 13th, followed by Cherry Pie in the Everhaas in 14th. Dwyer in the Williams in 15th, followed by Darkbolt in 16th. Big C with big problems down in 17th in qualifying. Midnight in 18th. Chappelle in 19th. And Ali is rounding off the grid in 20th. And you can see here, it is 12th down to last, selecting the medium compound tire. Only Fabi in 11th decided outside of the top 10. And there's the predicted pit stop strategy coming up there. So if you're on a one stop on the softs, you're going to pit around lap 12 to 15 and go to the hards till the end. That is their deciding pit strategy. You'll actually see if that happens. And as you can see there, pole position man J Cheat just slowing up a little bit. Doesn't want to be waiting too long on the grid. Doesn't want those tires to cool down too much. And let's get set, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have the 5 red lights and they'll go off. And we will get set for our first race here in PlayStationGL on the new game. Out with the old, in with the new. And I'm excited to bring it to you. And everybody just lining up right now, and you can see the Mercedes of Ali coming around to go into his grid position. 20 cars on the grid here, 36 laps of the Red Bull Ring. Let's get set for action. Getting ready. And it's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights here in Austria. And lights out, and away we go. And it's JT who gets a good start, and it's Rafa who gets a good start as well in second position. Sparks sitting there in third, and it's a pretty good getaway for JT. And I have no idea why Ali is being shown in first. We already have some problems already with the graphics, but it's JT who is leading them away right now, and it is Rafa who's sitting in second and Sparks in third, and there is a big slow up on the pack right here as there are massive problems going down. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. There was some contact going 3 wide coming into turn number 4, and look at that. Gamer on the inside, Tomato on the middle, and there's big crashes, and that is a spin, and Gamer's been spun around, and there was a massive crash, and that's a safety car deployed on the very first lap. And that was some big scenes on the first lap. There were a few problems on my leaderboard there, confusing me a little bit, but that is a spin from Gamer, who was caught in a 3 wide situation, which is always going to cause some trouble unless you have absolute confidence in everybody. And it's Toxic Tomato with absolutely no front wing, and he's going to have to go into the pits. So it's a first lap safety car, and we already have chaos here. And the predicted pit stop strategy is coming up again, but it's not going to be the predicted one for Toxic Tomato, who is all the way going to go down to the bottom of the grid now, and he's going to go into the hard compound tire. I don't think that's going to go till the end of the race, but big troubles for him. And we're under safety car conditions, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't believe it's going to be Gamer in the lead. In fact, yep, Jay Cheat is in the lead. So there are some problems on the side for me. Not showing me the correct order of things, but Jay Cheat is in the lead. Rafa in 5th. Or sorry, 2nd. Gamer in 3rd. Marcelina in 4th. Ash Best in 5th. So it's just Eclipse who's showing up in 1st for absolutely no reason. Well, crazy scenes here, and already on lap number 3. A safety car deployed on the very first lap. A big crash, a 3-wide situation there. Toxic Tomato Gamer not coming off too well from that situation, and I do believe, yes, now the grid has officially updated correctly, and we are on a correct lineup for the drivers here. If you're watching us and just joining us now, this is PlayStationGL. This is the F1 2020 social race. We're under safety car conditions. A big crash in Sector 2. A 3-wide situation, not ending up for how the drivers would have liked. And riding on board with Gamer right now, who is sitting in 3rd on the grid. And oh, that's contact, and I think there's damage. Jay Cheat has a 5-second penalty for a collision with Rafa. Rafa ran into the back of Jay Cheat, and usually it's the driver behind that gets the penalty, but now it's Jay Cheat who actually gets the penalty. And that is not good for his race, but Rafa, more importantly, has end plate damage on his car. And that is going to affect his pace as we get close to the safety car restart. We're on lap number 3, apparently, though we were on lap number 3 last lap as well. So a few things not updating for me. Just standard problems with the new game, it seems. And safety car is going to begin this lap. And you can see JT immediately begins to slow up the pack. We'll see when he decides to get going. And coming under the Fanatec bridge, still warming up his tires, and we're going to have to wait and see. He's about to come around that penultimate turn. Does he go now? Still very, very slow. And we haven't even gone to the final turn yet. I think this is about when he goes. And yes, here we go. Safety car restart is on, and it's a very good start from JT. And oh, there's already a spin there, and that's Marcelina, who's been spun around immediately on that restart. And here we go. Rafa coming into turn number 1 behind Jay Cheat. Sparks in 3rd. Ash Best in 4th. 5th for Forbes. And already in the slipstream of Ash Best, and we might see a move coming into turn number 3. Let's see who's going to try to challenge on the inside. Looking on the inside. There's a lockup from Best. Forbes looks more, but ultimately a little bit too far back to be making a move. Ash Best stays in 4th. So J-Chick got a very good start on that safety car restart, and Rafa behind him in 2nd position, Sparks in 3rd, 4th for Ash Best, Forbes in 5th position, CC Brain in 6th. Under pressure, oh, that's Skeven, who I was about to say was behind CC Brain, but had a big moment there, and now he's going to have QPR, or sorry, one of the AlphaTaris actually is going to be behind him. All right, there's the AlphaTari. So it's CC Brain who had the prom, and Skeven trying to capitalize. You can see if he can make a move in the turn number 1. He's definitely looking on the inside, but again, a little bit too far back to even thinking about a move. Now we can see Sparks here, very, very close to Rafa. Might even be able to make the move before getting into turn number 3. He's going to make a move on the inside, and this is going to be tough for Rafa to make a defense on with that damage on the end plate, and it's a pretty easy move for the CRG driver, and he gets into 2nd position, and now the McLaren's 3rd and 4th. Ash Best going to be chasing down his teammate who has damage. Forbes, another lockup. This is where CC Brain made the mistake on the previous lap. Let's see if he can keep it together, and he keeps it well okay. Skeven dropping back a little bit now. Almost capitalized on the mistake. In fact, there's Skeven who goes a little wide there, and I have to imagine he might have gotten a warning on that occasion. QPR Beast in 8th, Cherry Pie in 9th, and Skeven, there he goes, 3-second time penalty, so I had to imagine I was right. That's the first penalty we've seen. DRS is now enabled on this lap, so coming into this DRS detection zone they're coming up to after turn number 1 is where we're going to see that rear flap open on that car there. And you can see Rafa, crucially, has no DRS on Sparks. So Ashbest in a very good position now. He's not going to make a move on this turn, but he might make it on turn number 4. Another DRS zone coming up, and he might chuck it into overtake. Let's see. No, actually, he's going to save the overtake. You can see it on that steering wheel. It did not turn green on the orange bar, and he will stay behind his teammate for the moment. Forbes in 5th position right now, trying to chase down the McLarens. You can see CC Brain in the shadows behind, seeing if he can pick up the scraps at any point, though he's got to keep his own car stable and well on track. Skeven has a 3-second time penalty already to contend with, and I suspect we're going to see a few more penalties today, as even some of the best drivers I've seen are having major problems keeping it on track. Again, like I said, the track limits on this game on Austria, and there's Chappelle with a 3-second time penalty. The track limits on Austria in this game a little bit more brutal than they have been in the past. And it's going to get interesting here. Ashbest getting very close to the back, and oh, he's about to hit the back of Rafa. And I don't think he expected Rafa to go that slow through the turn there. But again, with the damage, it's very difficult to get the car turned in onto there, especially on an uphill turn. Rafa having problems. Ashbest with a lockup of his own, though. Sparks has already dropped outside of a second from Jay Chit, so Jay Chit having a pretty decent race so far for him. Very easy to keep the lead after starting well into turn 1. A track that is great for clean air, dirty air not so much. And Sparks currently in 2nd, trying to find his way further up, trying to get within DRS detection range. Rafa further 2 seconds back. He is definitely not in DRS detection range, and let's ride on board of Ashbest as he's got DRS open again, coming into turn number 1. And Rafa really extended the track a little bit too wide, and he's got a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Ashbest. You can see it coming now. He's got overtake activated. Here comes the DRS. He's going to come into turn number 3, and it's going to be a move on his teammate. It wasn't super easy, but he gets ahead of him nonetheless. Will Rafa have an answer? He's got DRS himself now on his teammate. Will he try to make a big lunge on the inside? No. Stays behind him, but a lockup from Ashbest. But no challenge nonetheless. So we're on lap number 8 of 36 right now. You can see CC Brain looming in the distance. Was probably hoping for a little bit more battling between the McLarens, but it did not come to fruition. And you can see Skeven in the AlphaTauri there. So the Red Bull branded cars getting close to each other. We might see some battling for them later on in this race. And you can see Sparks. Sparks in this last lap has gained a lot of time, so Jay Chit obviously had a problem somewhere. DRS activated. Is he going to chuck it into overtake? We'll have to wait and see. I think he's going to keep it steady just with the DRS. It's not enough anymore just with DRS and slipstream to make overtakes. You have to have that overtake activated most of the time. Toxic Tomato has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And he does not chuck an overtake again, so he's staying patient right now. And you can see the top 2, Sparks and J-Chit, have had a pretty good first couple laps, and they've extended their gap ahead of the McLarens by a pretty considerable margin. Ashbest now almost 3 seconds outside of the top 2. And now Rafa might be trying to challenge his teammate. Rounding off that top 5 again is CC Brain, Skeven behind him, Forbes sitting in 7th. There's the 2 Haas's as well who are getting into the mix. And you can see actually QPR Beast behind Forbes, very, very close, looking to make a move possibly. And is he going to try to challenge? No, it's going to be Forbes who's going to make the pit stop here on lap number 10. And that is a little bit of an undercut from Forbes. Let's see if it pays off. And let's see if he puts, which tires is he going to put on? The medium compound tire is going to go on for him. And he is the only driver. And Cherry Pie has had a crash somewhere. And there's a safety car deployed on track. And there's that Haas stricken on track. So he had a spin somewhere. out of the turn number 1, and that's a safety car deployed. And this has probably worked rather unfortunate maybe for Forbes. You probably would have liked that safety car to come out just before the pit stop. And this might have been quite bad for Forbes, actually. And, oh, that's a spin from Maslina. So Maslina has a spin under safety car. Very unorthodox from some of the drivers today. Eclipse is out of the race as well. I believe he was involved in that three wide incident in the beginning of the race. Toxic Tomato comes out last with the medium compound tire. And into the pits is Jay Cheat. Sparks follows. So does Ash Beast, Rafa. And you're going to just see all the drivers coming into the pits. Busy pit lane time. And let's see what Jay Cheat puts on. I presume will be the medium compound tire. And the pit lane is busy. A few drivers deciding not to pit. CC Brain stays out. But he started on the medium compound tire, looks like. Or, sorry, no, those are new mediums for him. Apologies. It is Gamer who started, definitely on the mediums. Or had a... No, sorry, he pitted earlier. I forgot he was in that three-wide incident in the beginning. So he has actually capitalized pretty well on this, as he is on medium tires before a lot of other drivers. So we'll have to wait and see if this strategy works out for him. But these drivers on new medium tires, they have really had a excellent going of things here, and this has really flipped the grid almost. So we have CC Brain in the lead, Dark Bolt in second, Midnight in third, and CRG Gamer, though he does have the mediums on before everybody, it's 8-lap old versus brand new mediums, so that is not how they would have liked it to go. Only a few drivers electing to go on the hards. QPR Beast on the hards. Big C is on the hard compound tire. So is Dwai. And Ali as well on hards. Everybody else electing to go onto the mediums. So definitely a two-stop strategy, we believe. And we're under safety car conditions. A crash from Cherry Pie. And we only have 18 cars left on the grid, though all things considered, been fairly clean from everybody. Again, the first lap, we had that three-wide incident. It's always going to be trouble on the first lap, and it was definitely trouble in the beginning. So this is our second safety car in the race. And it's CC Brain finding himself in the lead of the Grand Prix. And Big C has left the session. I don't know if that was a disconnect. And Big C has a 5-second time penalty. So if when he comes back, he's going to be in trouble, as he's apparently ignored yellow flags. I presume his AI is overtaking somebody. Yes, that is in fact the case. And that is why he has received that 5-second penalty. So he has left the session. I presume it was a disconnect. So when he joins back, he's going to have to deal with that on his next pit stop, I presume. So very unfortunate for him. Sitting down in 11th. Safety car still out right now. No word that it's coming in. And you can see a very common thing. Most people going with that marble helmet that's in the VIP pass. It is a pretty gorgeous helmet, I have to say. So I'm not surprised to see a lot of those designs out on track today. So we remain under safety car coming on to the next lap. It's going to get feisty here, ladies and gentlemen. Your top 5 are CC Brain, Darkbolt, Midnight, Gamer, and Chappelle. Really, maybe the worst out of this top 5 definitely has to be Gamer. 9-lap-old mediums, now 10-lap-old mediums. Again, maybe a little bit better form as it's under safety car. And now Eclipse has finally left the session. Again, he DNF'd out of the race. But Gamer is going to have trouble on this safety car restart. BG Fabi on 10-lap-old mediums as well. Now, I'm pretty sure Fabi was one of the only drivers who was outside of the top 10 who elected to start on the soft compound tire. A very interesting strat from him. And now he's on 10-lap old mediums. So a few drivers here might be having troubles, especially Fabi and Gamer. We're on lap 13 of 36, and there it is. The safety car is coming in this lap. And CC Brain effectively becomes the safety car. He can control the pace. And we'll see when he gets his restart on. Darkbolt almost hitting the back of CC Brain. Big C has joined back in, but he does have to deal with that 5-second penalty now overweighing him as his AI ignored yellow flags. So I don't know if he'll be too surprised when he comes back and he makes his next pit stop. He's going to be wondering, why am I paused? Well, that's the problem. CC Brain just coming around the penultimate turn, and he has gotten his restart on early, and it's been a very good restart for CC Brain. Gets the jump on Darkbolt, who was caught napping there on that restart. And you can see it looks to be Fabi who had some problems on that restart as he came out to the right side of the track as if to let somebody by, so he might have had some problems here. And let's go, ladies and gentlemen, as CC Brain gets a fantastic restart. Darkbolt in second, Midnight in third, fourth for Gamer, who's already looking around the outside of Midnight, again with old medium still having incredible pace, trying to get ahead of Midnight. Chappelle did not have the restart he would have liked. Sparks maybe a little bit further back than he would have liked to be too, but a big lockup from the Ferrari there. And look at this contact between the Renault and Ashbest, so a little side-by-side action between the McLaren and the Renault there on lap number 14. Chappelle has a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings, so the penalties continuing to rack up for these drivers, and I hope that we don't see a penalty decided race. If the drivers can just stay relatively clean or at least balance out their penalties with each other. And we begin lap number 14, CC Brain in the lead, and the pit window is open now for the predicted strategy with a one-stop, but again with that safety car, that is not what we expect to happen. And Fabi is retired. Is there a crash for him? I believe there has been. There's now a virtual safety car deployed, and no, I believe he might have just gone into the pit lane. I'm going to try to ride on board with QPR Beast. Let's see if we can catch on board at what has happened here. Has he gone into the pit lane and retired? I'm not going to see it. And yes, he has. He has crashed on the start-finish line. So Fabi with a crash on the start-finish line. And that is another retirement, ladies and gentlemen. In this social race, we are getting close to the halfway mark, and we are back under green flag conditions. CC Brain again back in the lead of this race. 0-lap old mediums, though I think the graphic might be wrong here because they've definitely gone through a few laps, so the game is not doing me any favors. Maybe I need that IGK system, but unfortunately it's banned. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Lap number 16, and I do believe that graphic is wrong, so at least we can see the tires. It's just the detail for the amount of laps that they're on is the problem. CC Brain, though, in the lead of this Grand Prix, and you can definitely see those tires are far from new. You can see a little bit of graining on them, a few lines starting to show up, but overall pretty nice and done. And CC Brain with a pretty comfortable lead, to say the least. It is 0.6 of a second, but with clean air being such an advantage here, it is an advantage as Darkbolt has a big lockup there, and Midnight didn't try to capitalize, but he does not. Gamer a little bit further back than he'd like to be in this battle, and Chappelle in fifth as well, a little bit further back. He's got the Alfa Romeo of Sparks behind him, pressurizing him, looking to get into the top 5. As we're about to begin lap number 17 of this race. And Fabi has left the session there. Must be very unhappy as we get a air shot there from Sparks behind the Ferrari. So it's 2 Ferrari-powered cars. Which one's going to come out on top? Coming in the turn number 1, Rafa has set the fastest lap. That's a crash. Darkbolt's out of the race. Darkbolt out of the race, and that's another safety car. It's a similar location from the Haas crash from Cherry Pie, and that's another safety car deployed. And we are only on lap number 17, and that has been 3 safety cars in 17 laps. And now it's Darkbolt who has the big crash. And it is the same place that Cherry Pie crashed at. This throws strategies completely out the window, as now drivers can really save their tires. But what scenes here in Austria, just like in the first race of the F1 season, it is chaos here at the Red Bull Ring. 3 safety cars, 17 laps. Now, are we going to see some pit stops here? We are. CC Brain into the pits. Now, what tire does he go on? Is he going to go onto the hards till the end, or is it going to be softs? And I see red wool tire, and that is the soft tires going on. And, oh, it's a double stack, though, in the pit lane for the Red Bull crew, and not at all what Gamer would have liked to have seen. And now finally getting this tire switched off, and he gets out of the pit lane, but a lot of time being cost with that double stack. And Gamer finds himself in the lead with the medium compound tire. So I do believe some of the drivers, after the second pit stop, onto the medium. So a few of these drivers are going to be staying out much longer, but a few other drivers with brand new softs. We'll have to wait and see how much progress they can make up. CC Brain in the top 10 after his pit stop. Gamer, though, much further down in 14th, and he must not be happy to have had to deal with that double stack situation in the pit lane. And TNR, yep, the graphics are completely off, though I believe the graphics for the actual tire are right, but the actual lap counters are wrong. But we've had a few problems on that leaderboard. What is right, though, is we're under safety car, lap number 18 of this F1 2020 social race here at PSGL. And CRG Sparks is leading the Grand Prix. Ash Best in second, Jay Chit in third, Forbes in fifth, and Big C, with that hard compound tire, has found himself in the top 5, so he must be quite happy with where he is right now after what was, not to say the least, a quite abysmal qualifying performance from him. Not the kind of start he would have liked to have had to his F1 2020 league campaign, though it is, again, just a friendly exhibition race nonetheless. Drivers are racing to the limit, and we've had a few crashes already. Darkbolt, Fabi, Cherry Pie, and Eclipse all DNFing out of the race with their own issues. Big C, though, he does have that 5-second penalty looming over him. Lap 19 of 36. About to get on to lap number 20. Will we see the safety car come in on this lap? It should be just around now, and I don't believe we're going to see it happen. Oh, no, there we go. Safety car in this lap, so Sparks will lead the pack. So it's been 3 safety cars. Absolute chaos at the Red Bull Ring. Let's get set for the third restart of this race. Sparks in the lead. Ash Best in second. Jay Chit, who was on pole position in this race, in third position. And I believe Sparks has already gone away with an early restart. And oh, that was not the best out of the penultimate turn, and that might have cost them. Ali has a 5-second penalty already on this restart. And Sparks, not a good restart. Ash Best already on the attack coming into the restart. Coming in the turn number 1, and let's see if he can get it. Ooh, big wheel spin out of the first turn. He's got the overtake on. Sparks might be a bit of a sitting duck here. Let's see, coming in the turn number 3, I think he'll be okay. A little bit too far back to be making a move on the inside, but Sparks did not have the safety car restart he would have liked. A big moment in the penultimate turn, and we're going to have to wait and see how he handles the attack from Ash Best and Jay Chit. Further down the line, you can see CC Brain on that soft compound tire, and we see big lockups from a few drivers here. CC Brain on the inside here of Dwight, and he's going to get into 9th, and you can see there Midnight on the inside of Dwight as well, and he gets ahead of him as well, so Dwight goes down to 11th in the span of just a few corners, so not the way he would have liked, but again on that hard compound tire, no match for the soft compound tire. And here comes Gamer, who's going to get ahead of the Williams driver and move himself into 11th position. And here comes Jay Chet. He is pressurizing Ashbest, who's trying to pressurize Sparks himself. So getting dicey here. Here comes the overtake for Jay Chet. I'm sure Ashbest has it activated as well. Gamer, a bit of a sitting duck, but he has kept the momentum. And no moves in the turn number 3. As it is kind of turn number 2, but they count that kink as a turn, but you know, that's the FIA for you. As they come in the turn number 4, big lockup from Ashbest, and that is not what he wants to be doing in this race. Big C trying to hold off Skeven, who is pressurizing him a lot in that Renault versus AlphaTauri right now, lap 21 of 36. Jachet over the back of Ashbest, trying to find his way back into second position in this Grand Prix. Chappelle has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That is, I believe, his third of the Grand Prix. DRS now enabled, so here we go. And you can see Jachet has dropped back a little bit. And this might be go time for Ashbest. He's going to chuck it into overtake. I'm sure the DRS flap now opens, and let's see how close he can get to the back of that Alfa Romeo. Can he make a move into turn number 3? And no, he cannot. And we'll stay behind him, though. He is going to have another DRS zone just coming up here, and I'm sure he'll put it back in overtake. Yes, he will. Sparks, though, has a pretty decent gap on his hands here, and that's allowing him to keep in first, though a lockup there from Sparks, maybe feeling the pressure just a little bit, but he has felt the pressure many times before and has kept it all under control. Big C now down in 6th after getting overtaken by Skeven, and Rafa now going to be all over the back of Big C. Again, Big C on those old hard tires, and they must be feeling the wear and tear. They're already ungrippy as it is and hard to get into an operating window, so Big C might be having troubles in the later part of this race. Let's ride on board of Jay Chit now, trying to get past Ashbest. Ashbest now gonna come and say, oh, but he is out of DRS range on this next zone. I don't think he has it open. No, he does not. Jay Chit all over the back of him, coming in the turn number 3. It's going to be a move on the inside by the Williams driver, and he's going to get the move done and into second position, and now he's going to try to chase down Sparks. Forbes as well now getting into the mix, sitting in 4th. Skeven in the top 5. Big C in 6th. Rafa a little bit further back, but not too far back. Skeven with a big lockup. Big C of a lockup of his own. Maslina sets the fastest lap. Remember, he had a spin on the safety car, but he's got a 105.2, and it's the fastest lap, but it's in 16th at the moment, so right now it's not going to be that extra point for him that he would get. Again, just a friendly competition. No points on the board really being counted. And look at this, Gamer getting very close to Rafa. He's on that soft compound tire, and he's going to try to make quick work of him. Can he already make the move in the turn number 1? No, Rafa does have DRS, and he's going to save that overtake coming into turn number, now coming up towards turn number 2 and towards 3. Actually, no, he does not chuck it in the overtake. Rafa trying to get close to Big C. Big C trying to get close to Skeven, who was without DRS, and a lockup from him keeps it just behind Skeven. Toxic Tomato and Midnight are going side by side down toward turn number 4. This is getting extra dicey here, ladies and gentlemen. And who breaks latest? And they're still side by side. Great battling between the Ferrari and the Racing Point here. Still side by side. It's Tomato with the advantage, but then on the inside is Midnight, and I think he's going to get the move. No, still trying to hang it around the outside. It's the Ferrari there. A Tomato still side by side. What racing here for 10th position on the grid. The final point as they're going to come into the penultimate turn, and finally Tomato gets into 9th. what scenes here on lap number 25 of 36, and the driver's really starting to put on the pressure here, and that's a midnight penalty of 3 seconds after running a little wide after that battle. It's surely the dirty air not helping him too much. As we move back at the top here, Ash Best trying to challenge J-Chit, but not able to get close enough for a move. J-Chit has to deal with the fact he's not very close to Sparks either, who is a little bit running away with this race. I don't believe Sparks has any penalties, so he's kept it pretty sparkly clean in this Austrian Grand Prix so far. There's Forbes sitting in 4th, Skeven in 5th, and oh, there's a big lockup there, and that's the McLaren of Rafa trying to go on the inside of Gamer. Gamer on the superior soft compound tire, and finally does get ahead of Rafa. Gamer moving up places very quickly now behind Big C on that soft tire. Soft versus hards. We know how this is going to go. Let's see if he can dispatch of him quickly. And you can just see the tire grip difference coming into the final turn, and he begins now lap number 26 of his own. And here we go. Now I believe the move will be made. He's going to chuck an overtake and makes it well before turn number 2. Into turn number 3, still just keeping in there. Big C trying to get close enough, but he's not going to be able to defend at all, and Gamer up into 6th. So Gamer making up massive progress, and he's got to, because eventually that soft tire is going to lose its advantage. Can he make the move on Skeven now and move into the top 5? Yes, he can. A lockup from him. Skeven might be looking for the switchback, but just the lack of tire grip on traction is not going to help him here, and Gamer up into 5th, and now chasing down Forbes. And Ashbest moving back a little bit from J-Chit, who sits in 2nd. 2 seconds is the gap right now, so it is increasing between Sparks and J-Chit, and Toxic Tomato has another 3-second time penalty. Lap 27 of 36 in this F1 social race on PSGL. My name is IJKX, and Midnight's had a crash. Midnight has had a crash. Are we going to see a yellow flag here? Has he? No, he is retired in the pit lane, sorry. A retirement in the pit lane for Midnight, and that was a lot of penalties for him. And we can see here, Tomato into the pits. Is he going to retire as well? With Tomato and Midnight both, yep, he has retired. So he had a lot of penalties on him, and they have decided to retire in the pit lane. Maslina up to 14th now on the grid. And look at this, a big move on the inside by Ollie. And can Chappelle battle? Oh, they're making contact. The wheels are interlocked. This is similar to, that was similar to Hamilton, and they're still side by side making contact, pushing him off track, and that's a crash into the wall. And that is Chappelle, who clearly put Ollie into the wall, and that's a virtual safety car deployed. Lap 27 of 36, and VRT Chappelle said no thanks, and he puts Ollie into the wall. And that was as on purpose as it gets. You could see the wheels interlocked, and that was a dirty move if I ever saw it from Chappelle, currently sitting in 10th, and Ollie out of this race. Virtual safety car has been deployed because of it, and I think we might see a discussion about future incidents occurring like that. And ladies and gentlemen, it's only a social race. It's just an exhibition. Be a little nicer to each other. Ollie leaving the session must be some frustration, but totally unprofessional from him. Sparks 3.1 seconds. This has definitely helped him, and we're back under. Oh, Skeven gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, and that is going to be a disaster for his race as we enter the closing moments of it. In this 50% race, lap 28 of 36, Sparks is your leader. 2.1 seconds is that gap. And let's ride on board with, it looks like Ashbest and Forbes are getting into a battle, though a little bit unstable on the rear from Ashbest. Currently sitting in 4th, trying to chase down Forbes, who has gone onto the podium now. Again, a lot of penalties down the line, though. I'll have to wait and see how that affects the results here. But can J-Chick close the gap? And Big C into the pits. And oh, that's a spin from Big C. And he has been spun around somewhere. I'm not sure if he spun himself, but that's big damage on the front wing. The left side is almost gone. It's but a plank. and he is going to have to go into the pits, and that has been a disaster for Big C, who was looking to get into the top 10 after lasting quite a while on those hard compound tires, but just a little bit too long on the hards, and they have not lasted like he would have liked them to, and that's a big spin from Big C. Position number 11 on lap 29. And CRG Sparks sitting in first. Jay Chit in second. Forbes is in third on the podium. But he's got a McLaren of Ashbest who's going to try to challenge for that podium position. And Sparks on that soft compound tire, waiting in the looms. Definitely going to look to make a move as well. Rafa has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Tamano finally leaving the session there. Again, retiring after a mountain of penalties given to him after exceeding track limits. Riding on board of Ashbest here, you can see just how close he is to Forbes. Forbes having trouble on that medium compound tire. Now he's going to chuck it in. No, he's actually going to keep it fine and steady. No overtake yet. Is he just going to make it on DRS alone? No, I didn't suspect he would. But will he do it now? Yes. Overtake activated. DRS flap open. Big C is, I believe he may have gone to the pits and retired. Yes, he has. And on the inside, Ashbest on Forbes. Forbes tries to make the switch back. Can he make it happen? No. And Ashbest moves into the podium position. A big dive bomb from Ashbest into turn number 4, and he makes the move happen. Forbes down to 4th. And Gamer sitting there in 5th. Skeven in 6th. CC Brain in 7th. And Chappelle sitting in 8th. He's got a lot of penalties for his own right, to say the least. QPR is sitting in 10th behind Dwight. Rafa in 11th. And look at this. It's a pit stop for Skeven. And is he going to try to go for the fastest lap of the race? As it's lap 31 of 36. And look at this. Forbes now. He's getting close to DRS. He's going to make a late move on the inside. A bit of a lockup there. Now Shirley, I imagine, going to put into overtake. DRS activated. Yes, he will. Let's see. Can he get close enough to Ashbest? Not the best run out of turn number 3, and I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move, but it's a big late dive, and it's not going to work out for him, and that's contact between the two of them, and now Gamer's going to get involved with that late decision to make an overtake, and that was very costly by Forbes and really didn't make any sense. Way too far back for an overtake, and Gamer said thank you very much for the mistake, and he has taken the free real estate, quite frankly, and into 4th goes Gamer. Now going to chase down Ashbest with that soft compound tire. A little bit worn out, those softs, though. Now, does he have the tire advantage still to get into the podium position ahead of Ashbest? Lap 32 of 36, QPR has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Just a few laps left to go in this race. Gamer leading away by 1.8 seconds. Jay Chit is a further 3.1 seconds ahead of Ashbest. And look at this. Gamer getting very close to Ashbest, coming into turn number 3. Now, is he going to chuck an overtake? Let's see. He's got DRS activated. Is he going to make a late move on to Ashbest on the inside? I don't think he's going to make the same hastily mistake that Forbes did. And no, he will keep patient. Coming up towards lap number 33. Masalina has another 3-second time penalty. And they just keep piling on at the back of the grid, especially. A lot of penalties being racked up. And, well, CC Brain, look at this. He's got 44 laps. He has gone more laps on the softs than there are regulation laps. Wow, what skill. What absolute skill. He's got more laps than they actually race, so that's quite insane, ladies and gentlemen. Driver of the day to CC Brain for making them last longer than the race. And look at this. FEA Forbes. Can CRG Gamer get past Ashbest? Does he chuck it in the overtake? I think he should. Yes, he does. DRS activated. This should be an easy move. Does Ashbest? Yeah, he does have it in overtake, so he's going to move it now and just give him little space. A big lockup from Ashbest. Gamer's going to try to go for the switchback. He's going to try to put on the inside. Now he's on the outside, coming into the turn. Does he still have it there? No. A lockup from Ashbest, though, breaking late, and he keeps ahead of him in third position. Gamer has to get ahead of him soon because that advantage on the soft tire is going to decrease exponentially as he continues to stay behind. The soft compound tires are going to get worn out quite quickly if he's going to keep behind this McLaren. And we just have 3 laps to go in this race, and Sparks is your leader. And look at this, a great run out of turn number 1, and Gamer is going to take third position away from Ashbest. Will Ashbest have anything to say about it? No, he will not. Too far back for a defense, and Gamer into third. Ashbest tries to cut across, maybe get a little bit momentum, but in fact it's a bad run out of turn number 3, and Gamer, look at this, can he get close enough for a move? Way too far back, and big lockups from everybody, and it's been lockup fest in turn number 3 for the most part. What a race, though, ladies and gentlemen, this social race. Sparks, though, leading them away 1.5 seconds ahead of J-Chit, so J-Chit has definitely closed the gap, but is 3 laps enough? Or now it's going to be about to be 2 laps as Sparks is going to come across the line and make it the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. I don't think J-Chit has enough time to close the gap on him, but Sparks definitely getting a little slower on the later half. Look at this, Forbes now still trying to challenge. He's got overtake activated. He's got DRS. Ashbest trying to look for it for Gamer as well. He does not have overtake activated. I think he's going to try it on the next DRS zone. Coming into turn number 3. Here we go. DRS activated. Overtake activated. Can he make a move on Gamer coming into turn number 4? It's going to be interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. No, he does not. Too far back. Forbes, likewise, too far back. CC Brain getting involved here with those 50-lap-old softs. So we'll have to wait and see. Can he even challenge? Looks like he can. And Sparks about to begin the final lap of this F1 2020 social race. Jade Chit in second, 1.2 seconds behind. Final lap begins. Sparks in the lead. And it's third for Gamer62. And Ashbest in fourth. Forbes in fifth. CC Brain at sixth. Now there's a lot of penalties here. Chappelle gets another 3-second time penalty. And with the amount of penalties he has, I have to think he must be nearing disqualification because that is a lot to get in one race. And look at this. There's a puncture. Sparks has a puncture on the last lap, I think. Yes, he does. Oh, what scenes here on the final moment. Sparks has left it all away. That is a puncture on the final lap. What scenes here. Gamers coming into view. And I cannot believe what we are seeing right now. Sparks has gotten a puncture. J-Chit has taken the lead of this social race, and he is going to win it absolutely cleanly. But will Gamer overtake his fellow CRG comrade? Let's see. Sparks with that puncture, and oh, he's just about to block him though, and he's gonna get past him. Sparks with that puncture. I think he'll just get the podium position. Yes, he will. Second place, and no, J-Chit with penalties is gonna finish third. So that was a lot of penalties, but wow, on the final lap, a puncture from Sparks, and he loses the race. Wow, I would have loved to have seen what the tire wear was on him, but that is a puncture on the final lap, and it is just all fun and games, but he must not be happy to have that final lap puncture. But it's a CRG 1-2 in this F1 2020 social race nonetheless, so for CRG it's a win, but there's that puncture on CRG Sparks. Absolute scenes. Somehow Chappelle gets driver of the day, though I think with the amount of penalties you have, I think I'd have to dispute that one. But there's your podium. Gamer wins it. Sparks in second, and it is J-Chit in third. And what an Austrian Grand Prix. What an F1 social race. from the new game on 2020, and it has been a pleasure to commentate this for you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is IJKX, and hopefully I get to commentate for you a few more races in the future. But let's go over the final lineup one more time. It's Gamer who wins it, Sparks in second, and rounding off the podium is J-Chit. 4th for Ash Best, 5th for CC Brain, Forbes in 6th, Dwight in 7th, 8th for Rafa, 9th for Chappelle, and Skeven in the top 10. QR Beasts in 11th, 12th for Marcelina, 13th is all the way down DNFs. So quite a few crashes, a few just outright retirements in the pit lane. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been PlayStation Gaming League's F1 2020 Social Race. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been IJKX. It's been a pleasure to commentate this race for you, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to join us in just a few weeks' time as we're getting ready for Season 26 of the PSGL F1 Series. And the provisional race calendar just got revealed with the 14 race calendar, so make sure to check that out on the Twitter page. Thank you so much for watching. Been a pleasure again to commentate for you for the first time, and have yourselves a wonderful day.